Hey everyone, this is Adam from Elysian Pickups, and I wanted to welcome you to my first long-form YouTube video. I wanted to start with a video showing the full build process of a fully custom set of pickups. In this case, a 7-string Tele style set. The customer has a humbucker equipped guitar, so these will be built to work in that form factor. So we're starting with the 3D printing process, and this is on my Voron 2.4 350mm machine. I've upgraded to have Stealthchanger multiple tool heads. I've got the Cartographer probe on it, and it's just a beast of a machine. I print all of my bobbins in ASA, and then for the support interface I use PETG. That's what the multiple tool heads are for on this machine. Next up is the winding process. I use programmable CNC winders for all of my pickups. I have a few of these. One of them was even modified so it could wind 4 coils at one time. We're starting with the bridge pickup here, and in this case we're doing about 8,000 winds of 43 AWG wire, which normally wouldn't fill up a Tele style coil. However, we're using a process I developed where I wind the wire together with a very thin polyester filament. It's about 1,000th of an inch in diameter. And we do about, in this case, 1,200 winds, which helps take up a little bit of extra space in the coil, so that when we're done winding the bobbin, the copper wire takes up all available space in the bobbin. The neck pickup is largely the same process, except we don't use the polyester filament, and we only do about 7,500 winds, which is close enough to the 8,000 winds of the bridge to make this hum canceling when used together with the bridge. While we're waiting for the soldering iron to heat up here, I just want to take a second to wax poetic about buying good tools, especially soldering irons. I personally really like Hakko stuff. I used a Hakko Dash for years. I've got 2 of these FX-888Ds, and they're just phenomenal soldering stations. You don't have to spend a mint, but Weller, Hakko, they both make really great irons. I wouldn't mess with like the Harbor Freight stuff or whatever you can buy at Walmart. They're just not going to be up to snuff for guitar wiring especially. And on to the build process. I've sped a bunch of this footage up. I didn't want to have a video that was almost 40 minutes long. This took me about 33 minutes in real time. I glued the fiberboard tops on off camera, and this is going to bite me in the butt a little bit throughout the build process because it makes the pickups a little bit unwieldy. They want to tip over, they don't want to sit in one position. So I'm going to struggle through that throughout the whole video. Enjoy. We're starting with the bridge pickup here. I twisted a bunch of wire up off camera so that I had enough for both pickups. And now I'm stripping the wire back so I can solder it to the lead wires from the bridge pickup. The black wire in my single coil pickups is also the ground wire, so I stripped that wire a little bit long, and then I cut off most of it except for 2 strands. One of the strands will be for attaching to the ground plane, and the other strand will be for attaching to the copper foil that I add as shielding on the outside of the pickup later on in the video. At this point, I'm attaching both of the very thin lead wires to the 2-conductor cable, being very careful not to break them. And from there, we'll solder both wires. After soldering both wires, I go ahead and super glue them to the side of the bobbin, and then follow that up by taping the whole coil. Now I'm going to wrap the coil with some copper shielding and then solder that ground connection to it. This part can be really annoying because the copper shielding likes to become a little curlicue when you take the backing off of it. Now I'm cutting off some wider copper foil to act as the ground plane on the fiberboard bobbin. After attaching that, I go ahead and press the Alnico 5 poles through the foil and then remove the little bits of foil sticking out the bottom of the base plate. From there, I go ahead and wrap the cable around the bobbin a little bit, gluing it in certain places just so it exits at the proper spot, so when I attach to the base plate, the cable is in place already. I wind up using quite a bit of super glue and kicker throughout this process. Because these pickups are humbucker-sized single coils, I 3D printed some pieces that will act like a housing. So when I tape these, there's something for the tape to stick to, and when I wax pot these, the wax will stay in the pickup. On the neck pickup, I also installed some foam so that the wax has something to stick in. And more gluing, and more kicking, and more gluing, and more kicking. The build on the neck pickup is basically the same, so I'm going to shut up and let the music play. did wind up having to modify the housing I made for the neck pickup because the wires stuck out a little bit far from the bobbin. And at the end of the process, we measure out 2 wraps of the fabric electrical tape, and then wrap both pickups with electrical tape. And there we have it. Thanks for coming along with me on this journey, building a Telecaster style pickup set. I've got a whole lot of other content planned for this channel. I'm going to keep putting out shorts. I'm going to probably do some demo videos. I'm going to sit down with some of my friends in the industry, artists, stuff like that, and do some kind of podcast style interview videos. And I've got a whole bunch of guitar work out in my shop that I definitely want to be able to get around to and get on video. So whole lot of stuff coming up. Like, share, subscribe, what all the other YouTubers say, and maybe we can make this a thing. Thanks.